And now for the tale of the tape in this heavyweight showdown between the Greenskins, who shall be led by Warzog the Baconator, the Dinosaurs, who shall be helmed by Lizard Moses, and it looks like he's also going to be joined by Lord KROAK. So as far as the build goes, we're going to be going with the double Arachnarok Spider, and these guys are new and improved. So if you look here, there's probably something a little bit different from what you're used to seeing. So firstly, if we look at the weapon strength, they do now have a bonus first large at 14, which is so damn good. The Greenskins really struggle against things like Tomb Scorpions, Cambrian War Sphinxes, and from the Dinosaurs, there's like Stegodons, Bastillodons, Engine of the Gods. I mean, there's so many new threats that are big, right? So having that bonus first large on the Greenskins is just going to be so damn useful. And I actually did some testing as well. We had the Arachnarok Spider, so not the Queen, fight against Dragon Ogre Shaggoths, and it was a very even fight, like just down to the wire because of their poison and of course their 150 armor and yeah, just good stats. So very, very happy with the changes to that. In the front line, it's going to be a combination of Black Orcs, Night Goblins. Yeah, the Night Goblins are just for poison, and these ones are also unbreakable, so having them in the middle is quite nice. But Black Orcs are an incredibly solid choice against the Dinosaurs. You do have to watch out for the KROAK, though. KROAK can actually bomb these guys pretty bad because they're very slow and easy targets for his Deliverance of Itza, but they do well against Temple Guard. They give you some extra AP against big dinos. They're immune to psychology. Black Orcs are a great staple infantry unit against the dinos. So front line's going to be 3 Goblins, 2 Black Orcs. In the back, we do have some missile units. We have Morgrim's Magi Marauders and Death's Creepers. Double Spider. We got the Baconator on his Hog. That's pretty much it. It's a very, very elite army. We do also have a couple of Forest Goblin Spider Riders, so one here and one's out into the forest just to chase skinks and give me some mobility. And also, if there is a big dinosaur kind of rampaging, you can use Forest Goblin Spider Riders to pin it in place while the Arachnarok Spider comes in and feasts. So we're going to see how this army does. A little bit experimental, but I think it's quite solid. I think these spiders are going to be very good against these big threats. Now for my opponent's force, he does have Temple Guard. The Star Chamber Guardians, I think, are somewhere. Yes, here they are. A couple groups of Saurus. Lord KROAK is going to be rolling in on his mobility scooter, and this guy's pissed. Look at him. He's just like, look at how angry he looks. I wonder what he actually looks like. Can you kind of see him under there? Or is he like wrapped like a mummy? That looks like you can still kind of see him. He does also have Lizard Moses on foot, which is going to be giving poison to all nearby troops. He also has the Manticore summon, which is, you know, pretty much a staple. And just having one spell on top of Lizard Moses, I think is good if you're going to be bringing KROAK. And the Manticore Summon is by far his best spell. So Saurus and Temple Guard, it's going to be a very, very meaty front line to get through, and he does have plenty of anti-large to help with the spiders with the Temple Guard. So if he's able to kill my Black Orcs, using KROAK, for example, and some of the other troops, it's going to be, you know, tough for my spiders to do the heavy lifting. On the flank, he does also have 2 groups of the Horned Ones. So the Horned One's going to be coming in with some extra AP, and I mean, yeah, you don't really have to respect Greenskin Cav too much. Orc Boy Biggins just don't trade well versus, you know, other Cav units in general. I mean, they're a pretty weak unit. I mean, the Broken Tusk Mob isn't bad, but for the most part, you know, you can have relative impunity with your Cav. So what I probably need to deal with these guys is just kind of send some Goblins out, try and tar pit them and fight them with the Arachnarok Spider, because unfortunately I didn't bring any nasty Skulkers, which are actually really good here. So something I did notice after the fact that I was like, damn it, I need some of those guys. So let's get the show on the road and see if the KROAK can deliver Itza from the foul Greenskins. But yeah, the Greenskins going to be advancing down the hill here. You can see the Black Orcs and company do have the high ground, and the spiders, they're just so meaty. So what I do at this point, I see the big horned ones coming out. So I do grab one of my Arachnarok Spiders, my Missile Cav, and I'm just going to be kind of screening out with a bunch of troops. And, you know, in terms of cost, it's relatively similar. Horned ones are very, very expensive, so the cost we're going to both be investing here. I'm probably investing a little bit more considering Warzog's going to be going over there. So the Black Orcs and company will be lining up in the front line and getting ready to charge the Star Chamber Guardians. So while it's going to be a little bit late because I wanted to save it for this fight over here, but the Black Orcs do slam into the Star Chamber Guardians, which they will lose. Star Chamber Guardians actually beat Black Orcs. And the other Black Orcs engage here, and the Goblins on the low ground are going to be tar pitting in and applying poison, which is going to be good. So I get the wall over here in this engagement, and this fight's actually going very well. The Horned Ones do get caught with the effigy of the Git, so I pinned them down initially. I was able to shoot them with my missiles. The Arachnarok Spider comes in and is just shrekking these guys. So very, very good initial engagement here. And you can see with that, the Bounce Fire actually goes in my favor a little bit because we do so much damage against the Horned Ones here. Just great, great stuff. However, I invested a lot in this particular fight, right? And in the main line, you know, he has a lot more stuff. So he's got Lizard Moses. He also has Lord KROAK, who's taken a ton of damage here. But it looks like KROAK is going to be emerging from his toilet seat and dropping a fat spell right here on top of my Black Orcs. So let's actually see. So I Foot of Gork his Star Chamber Guardians, doing a ton of damage. And he responds in kind using a massive vortex right there. Oh, no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, God! So the Black Orcs there just get annihilated by Lord KROAK. I believe that was the level 2 or 3 version. That was very, very powerful. So pretty much my entire front line just got shreked by Lord KROAK. I did do a ton of damage back, but the Star Chamber Guardians are almost unbreakable. And the Guardian, he's giving that to KROAK as well, plus the Supreme Shield of the old one, so his damage resist is just insane right now. And the Arachnarok Queen is in a little bit of trouble, so God save the Queen. She needs to fall back and get out of here. This is not a good situation. The Greenskin front line is buckled. Now, we did do very well over here, like I said. The Bounce Fire is pretty much dead even. We still have some Goblins, and we are going to be charging back in here to fight these Horned Ones. and just trying to buy as much time as I possibly can. So getting the Arachnoid Queen out of here. The Baconator will be attacking over here, which is a little bit risky, but I was like, okay, let's try and recharge the wall and see if we can get that back. The Manticore summon coming in is going to be very scary as well, because the Baconator, I thought he was safe, and then I saw the Manticore come in, so I was like, uh-oh, that thing could easily just take out the Baconator if he turns over there. So at this point, I fall back with the Arachnoid Spider, trying to lure away the Bastillodon and some of these other troops, but from here, I will be collapsing on top of the Horn ones, trying to finish off those very expensive units that my opponent did invest in. And the Manticore is going to be coming in. So the Baconator gets a little bit overzealous, and he doesn't have as much mass as I thought he did. He's really having a lot of trouble escaping. I figured I would be able to just kind of slip out here and get away, but you know, the Toads are coming, and Lizard Moses is coming in there, so now, you know, he's poisoned, right? Because all the Saurus and other troops here do have poison from Lizard Moses, so just so incredibly powerful, not really respecting Lizard Moses that much, and Warzog is just getting shanked by that little tablet-carrying beast right there, so he's going to be shanking him, and the Saurus are coming in, Temple Guard anti-large, so suddenly in a position where I thought I was in really good shape, right? We beat down these troops, we still have 2 full health monsters, we have Black Orcs coming back. I really thought I had, you know, a very good situation going into the late game here. It's looking a little bit grim. I mean, Warzog getting taken out like that is very bad. Granted, I have 2 Arachnoid Spiders, I have the Queen, my opponent's Manticore will be disappearing, so there are a couple variables that are going to be going in my favor here, but yeah, still a very, very scary situation. So up here, you can see the dinosaurs, or not dinosaurs, but the spiders are going to be advancing, trying to unite with some of the goblins here, forming a bit of a Helm's Deep, trying to get as much value as I can here on the Feral Manticores. And oh, look at that, you can even see the timer on the bottom left of its binding, so you can actually check when a unit is going to be disappearing, which is very helpful for making tactical decisions. So the Manticore is going to be falling here in just a moment, should be disappearing, and down he goes, which is quite nice. With that, the Bounce Fire does normalize a little bit. My opponent's army is very beat up as well. I mean, he has, let's see, you know, Saurus Warriors and, you know, the Star Chamber Guardians are very beat up from that Foot of Gork and Temple Guard. And, I mean, his leadership's pretty good as well, but I still have these 2 spiders, which are very thick and meaty. So we're going to be charging in here, trying to get some value from my missiles, just poking the dinos. But he does have the Rev Crystal as well, which is going to be so good. Lord KROAK is actually not a slouch of a combatant. He is poisoned, but his base weapon strength, I think, is like 445. So he's pretty powerful in melee. So the Goblin's going to be charging up the hill, trying to intercept these horned ones here. Spiders are going to be charging into fight and, you know, try and, you know, plow those guys with their bonus force large. But there are a lot of anti-large units here. These Temple Guard and the Star Chamber Guardians, giving the Guardian to his elite units. It's going to be so tough. And the KROAK is just doing some serious work. Over here on the flank, I do charge in against a Bastillodon, trying to tie that guy down. I think I had some plans to like attack him with the spiders, but it just kind of got screwed up there at the last second, so a bit of a mistake on my part. But anyways, the Arachnoid Spiders are doing very good, and I really do like the changes. I think they're an incredibly solid pick against dinosaurs as well as Tomb Kings. Although Tomb Kings is a little bit riskier because people might bring like Ushapi Great Bows or things like that, but against dinos, I think bringing like at least one of these guys is going to be, you know, pretty common. Probably just the Queen. So here we're going to be fighting and getting in there, poking some of those dinos, and yeah, Lord KROAK, we're trying to get him down. We're doing some decent damage. He is large himself and big and thick on top of his altar, but Lizard Moses and these Temple Guard are just holding to the bitter end. I'm not really able to crack them. The Bastillodon over here, we're just going to be pouring some fire in. We do have some Black Orcs coming back and a couple troops in the distance, but for the most part, they're just not in the best shape. So the Spider is going to be pulling back. I'm trying to pull his forces away here, getting this Arachnoid Spider to run this way, and getting the other one to go in and try and finish off the Bastillodon. But there's just so many Temple Guard everywhere that they're just so good against the Spider. And you can see the HP is just being slowly drained off the Arachnoid Queen right here. And it's looking a little bit grim for the Queenie. God save the Queen. She's in some trouble. Another Manticore summon is going to be coming in. And you can see the Manticore is going to be chasing off the Spider here. And the Bounce Fire pretty heavily in my opponent's favor at this point. And the Arachnoid Queen actually does come back, which is quite nice. So, man, these Horned Ones have such good leadership. I mean, elite dinosaur units have such good resilience in terms of their leadership. So this guy's down to a couple models left, but he's still going to be fighting this Manticore. Does have quite some time before it unbinds, so not really going to be able to count on that. My missile units are going to be running out of ammo, and with that, it's going to be all she wrote. You can see the rest of my forces running out of ammo, and this very elite, badass dino army is able to mow through my Arachnoid Spider. So very well played to my opponent. I think it was a relatively even battle, and it could have gone either way up until the point where I lost Warzog. When I let Warzog die, that was really sloppy. I had tons of Winds of Magic. I had another effigy. I had so many good tools that would have been very helpful going through that game right there. But alas, I made the mistake. My opponent capitalized and did a very, very good job with going after it. And I really didn't underestimate the poison as well, because Tanawin or Lizard Moses giving the poison to the Saurus is so powerful. I mean, that's a really, really good trait. And having him on foot as like, a frontline support lord, not a bad choice. So this build was okay. I was trying out the new Arachnoid Spiders. It wouldn't be my typical build against dinosaurs, but I thought it was pretty good. I think mixing in one spider is the right direction to go. I think just going 2 is a little bit too much. And I think getting a couple missile units and nasty Skulkers is just essential, because Skulkers trade super well with Temple Guard, and like the smoke bombs are just so good. It's like too hard to pass up on. So well played to my opponent, Aethor. And on that note, let me go ahead and show you guys a build I would probably bring, now that I've kind of experimented with the double spiders. And that is actually from a previous video. So let's go ahead and remove that. And where are you guys at? So the Greenskins. So Baconator I still think is a really good choice. You can go a Spirit Leech sniping using, Azag. He's very, very powerful as well. But I'm just such a huge fan of the Bacon. So here we get the double items here, which are going to be good. Black Orcs, I think, should still be your core. Crimson Killas, they're really strong. They're just very, very expensive here. And with KROAK sniping, I think it's going to be a little bit scary. So we get 4 Skulkers, we get some missile units, and from here I would probably get these guys plus just like Orc Airboys because they have better AP. And from here I might get the Arachnarok Spider or Queen. There's a couple things we could cut. I mean, the Warpaint's okay. Oh man, it still doesn't get us there, so... Let's see. We could probably cut one of the archers, which is going to be fine. Yeah, we have the spider for the anti-large. Black Orcs in the front line will be pretty meaty with the support of nasty Skulkers in the secondary line. Squigs are okay. Trolls aren't bad, but Trolls are going to have some serious leadership issues, I think. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think, does KROAK cause terror? I don't know if he does. Now, we do need some mobile units, just in case they do go with like a bunch of skinks or like a very annoying build with Ancient Salamanders. Granted, Ancient Salamanders, we do have some missiles to kind of poke back, but they have better range, so we have to respect the Salamanders. So from here, I think we can probably cut a Black Orc, and we need some mobility, right? We need a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and yeah, the Forest Goblin Spider Riders are going to give you some tools to really chase those guys down. And how do we deal with flying troll units, like the skink characters? That's the thing that is going to be a little bit problematic. We have a missile line, we have FG to get to kind of pin down the big targets. The Black Orcs can go and fight in the front with a couple of the nasty Skulkers. We can leave a couple of them in reserve back here. So we probably need another Skulker. We have the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. You know, honestly, cutting these guys and getting the missile variants could probably be fine, especially the Depths Creepers. They're very, very good in melee as well. So let's get you, and then we could just get like a standard Goblin just to kind of plug things in. I'm thinking about Biggins here, but just there's so much armor. I think just like something like this would be the way to go. I don't know, I have to experiment, but this is just something for you guys to try if you end up facing off against Lizardmen as Greenskins. So thanks again for watching. Very well played by my opponent. He played an awesome game, and we will see you guys next time. Take care.